I am Batman. I mean, Average Sniper.
What's up, guys? Average Sniper here, and welcome to a Battlefield 5 video. So I checked my email the other day, and I saw an email from EA with an alpha code for Battlefield 5. So I immediately loaded it up, took the day off work, and started streaming it. Got about 5-6 hours of streaming in the other day, and had a blast. There was some good times, some salty times, some boring times, and some amazing times, which that's Battlefield for you. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about my experience playing Battlefield 5, what I think of it, the issue with is it a Battlefield 1 reskin or not, and talk about some of the differences I noticed right off the bat. Before I get started, let me just say that there is no way to apply to get an alpha code or to play the alpha. From what I understand, EA said that the alpha codes were randomly generated. Not everybody got one, obviously, and if you didn't get one, that's just how it goes. So sorry about that, guys, but I am happy that I got one, so I am able to bring you some Battlefield 5 content before the release date in October, I believe. So here we go. Now, obviously, the class I used the most was the Scout class and the Assault class, two of my favorite classes from Battlefield 1. Mainly the Scout class because I like to snipe in this game. It's just very fun and it feels comfortable for me. So the first thing I noticed is that you don't get as much ammo. And sometimes when you get hurt, your health doesn't go all the way up to 100%. And this seems to be to encourage team play and squad play. You have resupply and medical stations that show up on your map where you can collect more ammo and you can get health supplies. You can collect small amounts of ammo off enemies that you kill or fallen teammates, or you can have a resupply in you can have a support guy and a medic guy in your squad giving you all the ammo that you need. But by default, with the sniper rifle, you only start out with 15 rounds. And most of the guns, you start out with about 2 magazines worth of ammo for each weapon. So that's kind of annoying. It kind of encourages more accuracy and less spray and pray. I noticed that the assault rifles or the one assault rifle that's in the game is very accurate. And the SMG on the assault rifle class is very dangerous up close. It'll beat the assault rifles fairly easily if you're accurate with it. And you can pretty much hip fire it and maintain the same level of accuracy, kind of like the MP18 on Battlefield 1. The support class gun, I noticed, was very smooth, even though I didn't use it that long, and the recoil was greatly reduced from the light machine guns we've seen in previous Battlefield titles, and the medic gun felt the same as the medic gun DMR, your general DMR in Battlefield 1. So all that pretty much... those are pretty much the main differences I noticed. Of course, there's some other minor ones, but I'm not going to go over every single thing in here. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, is this game a reskin of Battlefield 1? And what does it mean when you say something is reskin? Well, let's go for a minute to Call of Duty. And we know there's a new Call of Duty that comes out every year. And it basically feels the same as the last Call of Duty, except maybe they added in jetpacks or something crazy like that. But the shooting mechanics, the graphics, everything else almost feels like they just took the exact same game, put some new textures in, put some new clothes in, and said, here we go. Now, Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 feel amazingly similar. Now, the gun mechanics, the icons, the fonts, they're all different. But for the most part, it does feel like a Battlefield 1 reskin. But is there really anything wrong with that? Let's take a look at why Battlefield 1 lost popularity and didn't hang on to it. Like Battlefield 4 was amazing and hung on to that popularity forever, But Battlefield 1 just couldn't live up to the hype. Was it overhyped? Was it just not enough content? I think it was a little bit of both. I think a lot of people bought Battlefield 1 because they just didn't want to buy Call of Duty. And either they weren't into it or they only stayed interested in it for a very small amount of time before they moved on to the next game. I think the hardcore Battlefield veterans didn't like it too much because it felt more casual. And they just wanted a game that was a little more challenging. And I will admit Battlefield 1 definitely felt like anybody could just kind of pick up the controller or keyboard and mouse and just start playing. There wasn't too much of a skill gap in it. In fact, when I would see somebody doing really, really bad, I'd think to myself, they must have never played a shooter before, because this game is not that hard. So the fact that it was more casual than previous Battlefield titles could have definitely been an issue with Battlefield 1. And let's not forget the issue with content. It was almost half a year, I think, before any content came out. That's just too long. Lack of customization, lack of content kind of drove people away. And by the time it came out, it was too little, too late. Now, let's just say that Battlefield 5 is a reskin of Battlefield 1. What if they do everything they did wrong with Battlefield 1 and do it right in Battlefield 5? So that way we have regular content releases, more guns, more maps, more customization, and more support from the development team to get us quicker patches for the things that are broken and are not working right. I remember when Battlefield 1 first came out, it was full of bugs, and sometimes it felt like it took forever for the dev team to fix those bugs and release patches. And I'm sure a lot of players decided, probably not the reason most of them quit, but I'm sure there was a lot of them that was like, you know what, I'm going to go play a game that's not so buggy. So, having said all that, I don't think that this would necessarily be a bad thing if Battlefield 5 was a reskin of Battlefield 1, as long as they did it right. Who cares if the graphics look the same? Who cares if the gunfights feel the same? Make it a little more hardcore, a little less casual than Battlefield 1. Give us more customization, give us more content drops, and I'm sure people will stick around. There has to be a reason to stick around. Give us some kind of cool rank up system. Give us something better than we had in Battlefield 1 to unlock achievements and things like that. And they've already taken one step in the right direction initially by saying that they weren't going to be doing a season pass. I think the season pass and paying for DLC separates the gaming community for a single game into two different parts. The people that have it and the people that don't. In Battlefield, it can separate you into three different parts. You got the base players, then you have the players that have just one DLC, and then the players that have all the DLC. And you need to keep the player count active, and you can't keep separating it, because that's going to lead to lobbies not filling up. You know, you're going to have people getting bored because the servers aren't full and things like that, and it just sucks when the community is divided. So Battlefield 5 already taking a step in the right direction by saying that they're not going to have DLC that you have to pay for, which means the community's not going to get separated, and we can continue playing with everybody we love to play with, regardless of whether they decide to, you know, buy DLC or not, because everybody will have it. So that's what I like about Battlefield 5. The graphics are amazing. Don't even get me started. The graphics are great. You can see in this video, I'm sure, that they're looking good, and this is just the alpha. I'm sure they'll get even better. A few bugs, but I think that's just because it's an alpha. Nothing game-breaking at the moment, except maybe the game did crash on me a few times while I was playing it, but honestly, when I'm playing an alpha, I don't expect to have a perfect experience. It did piss me off a little bit, but it's nothing. As long as it doesn't do that in the final product, who cares, you know? We're just here to test it out. I loved the sniping. The sniping was great. The sniping seems almost like a cross between Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 sniping. Like, you have to lead your targets just a little more. There's a little more bullet drop, but you still have that high velocity shot like you did in Battlefield 1. So it took a little bit of getting used to, but if you're used to sniping in either Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1, I don't think you'll have any problem at all getting adjusted to this game. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave some comments for me and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. Hope everybody has a great day, and if you're watching on Friday, have a great weekend. Later!